some deep diving to do today. Welcome my co-host back in, Lions Den. So it's been interesting in the last couple hours of sports, going from last night into early this morning. Some crazy things happening. But our first topic we're going to jump into is going to be the Seahawks. The Seahawks in Monday night's game. I'm going to let you take this one. I'll come in after you.
Yeah, so Monday night, man, listen. Going into this game, I didn't have high expectations for Seattle. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, we already know, man, Russell Wilson is not at his peak performance right now. We know he's not doing what he's supposed to do. And it's just crazy how Seattle, a team that we, know in the NFC West to be NFC West contender, is not an NFC West contender with a 3-8 record. Like that's insane. It's hard. It's unheard of, man. It's definitely unheard of. But again, Russell, I think, has been rushed back from the injury that he had to his finger, so that's kind of throwing him off a little bit and what he's trying to do as a quarterback. Pete Carroll, on the other hand, is just disgruntled with the team. He don't know which way to turn. You're not getting production from DK Metcalf the way they need to. I mean, Tyler Lockett is only but so big, and he's trying to make plays, man. That's all. I mean, I don't know what to say about Seattle right now. They're really in bad shape. But facing off against that Washington team, man, who again, we're seeing Tyler Heineke
playing ball, baby.
Listen, man, somebody get ready to pay this man. Somebody gonna have to get ready to pay this man because this man is out here doing his thing. I mean, yeah, Russ did get a little excitement with driving the ball down the field, trying to get ready to go score late in the game. They, tried to get the onside kick recovery, which didn't work out for him. But at the end of the day, man, Heineke is balling out. He balling out, man. So, I mean, Seattle just it's really nothing they can do now. And then now we got to start thinking about, is Russell Wilson done in Seattle? Is he done?
I mean, my thoughts on that is already he's on his way out. I mean, saying the way Pete Carroll's going against putting it out there in the media, kind of did the team putting a lot of stuff of the team out there, and not I don't know. He's always seemed like he's kept that kind of stuff with the team. Anything that came towards the team was always behind the doors, and he addressed the team, and now it's coming a little bit more publicly with him. Right. And I mean, let's not forget. I mean, Russell's banged up. Yeah, he's not playing, and to me, it's like Russell's not there, man. It's honestly feels to me he's not. He just doesn't want to play there or something. That he's not happy. I'm not sure. It just doesn't seem like the emotion that you typically see Russ play with is just not there. Even when he scored that touchdown at the end right there to give him a shot, he was boom, threw it in there and started walking off the field for a minute to get the next play. Okay, I was a little confused, but let's not forget Washington couldn't kick a field goal because their punter can't kick field goals apparently.
Absolutely.
So that the game shouldn't even been as close as it was. And then you have Landon Collins get hurt in that drive, and the man doesn't he twisted his ankle. He walked off the field. Bro, you're out one play, get back in there. You can't have Deshaun Everett in that position. Deshaun Everett is not made for that position. He's not you. And I think what they done with Landon being able to make him a come down safety, making him into a hybrid is probably the best move they made for him. As much as he don't want to be called a linebacker, I think he fits that scheme very well in that position. I mean, he's probably played some of his best games in that position of recent. And Washington's got a lot. I mean, they got into the wild card spot with that win, which is wild to me. I mean, kind of seeing the same thing as last year. You're getting that wildness, in the NFC East is so weird, man. It's you're seeing guys with dumb records getting the spots. But like I mean, like I said, they got what 3 or 4 more. They got like three. Yeah, they got like 3 or 4 more division games they gotta play. I forget how many division games they got left, but they only play one. So I think, and they gotta see everyone twice. So they got 5 division games left. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You play 6 games. So they got 5 left. And with Dallas sliding and Eagles playing the way they're playing, they don't know which Eagles they want to be week in and week out. One week they look like they're about to take the top off of everybody, and next week they fall back down to their old selves. And then you got the Giants. We got to see. I think we got to see a little bit more from the Giants here yet, just to see how the coaching change has made a difference, if it really has made a difference. Because I mean, it looked like it did in the last game they played, but like Washington, Heineke, I mean, I think they've just found it, man. I think it took a while, and sometimes it does like that. A lot of people think, oh, just because they got to the playoffs last year, that they were gonna go right back in and be some stellar team and do it again. But you gotta also remember there was changes in the off season. There's different stuff in the off season, and you gotta find the right guys that mesh together, that play well together. And I think they were in that spot, but like hopefully Russ cuts back to himself, because I'm a big Russell fan. I just like how he represents himself and stuff like that. I just think like that team's morale is deflated. It didn't seem like anybody wanted to play. And for Washington's defense to hold DK like they did, I don't think they gave a pass up to him until late in the fourth quarter. I think it was on that drive for them to get down there and have a shot to tie it up.
But that's what I've been saying though, man. Like, you don't get that production from DK, man. It starts to become a problem, especially in Seattle. I mean, yeah, Tyler Lockett, he's only so small as a receiver. Yeah, he's fast, but DK's a big body, man. Yeah. So obviously he gets the mismatches between a lot of the cornerbacks out there, and it's just not showing this year. So I mean, honestly, I don't know what they're gonna do, man. They don't have a back, and that's killing them. I mean, we know Russ can run, but Russ is not gonna run like that. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna run like that.
Yeah, and I agree. And it didn't, like, even when he took off for that first down, it didn't look like he wanted to run. Like on that drive to keep him in it, he took off and got the 10 yards that he needed, right? And he didn't look like wanting to do it. And it's just like the guys, they weren't even excited until that last 2 minutes. Like that team did not look like Seattle. That team looked like it has more issues than we know about. And like, I mean, you got held down. They've been all over Williams too. The fans have been all over Williams. People have been talking he's washed up. He can't cover. I was like, I think he needs a break for a week at least. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
I think he only gave up 2 catches to DK the whole game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're holding DK down, I mean, you did something right. But I like that last play there on that 2-point conversion. You got to see a veteran play, and you don't see this from a lot of cornerbacks. They had Cam Curls going across the middle with them, and then they also had you have Kendall going across with them, and you got Fuller comes across, and then as you see Fuller, he sees that Cam Curl had him, he breaks off and comes back and makes an interception. And you don't, I mean, a lot of people take, oh, well, he's a pro, he should make those plays, but you don't understand what went into that play. When you see guys make that play, like that's a lot of IQ, that's a lot of everything, because Russell was fixated. If Russell lets the ball go when he first looks, he gets the 2-point conversion.
Right.
But the play was to drag him across the back, because he thought that Fuller was going to go with Cam and the other guy. I forget the other guy's name that they have out there, but they thought he was going across with him and that he'd be wide open in the middle. And I was just like, oh, I kept watching that play. I rewound it like 4 times just watching. I was like, man, that was a killer play. I was like, that man baited Russell into that throw.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it was a crazy play, but I mean, the onside kick was just as crazy. I was like, they sent this number 59 at that onside kick, and the man ducked the ball. I'm like, bro, you gotta catch the ball. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? And apparently they were sending him in there. That guy was in there just to make a hit on somebody.
Right.
I'm like, what are you? You ain't hit nobody. Like, what are you doing? Like, it was just crazy because they almost gave that onside kick up twice. I was just sitting there. I'm like, bro, we shouldn't even be in this position. Because I'm like, we lost our kicker early. He couldn't even kick, so they couldn't. They kicked that one. They tried to kick a field goal with Tress Way, and I guess when he kicked it, it got blocked. They took it back, and that was it.
Well, here's a question that I have too, Shmi, when it comes to that too. I know you guys had lost y'all's kicker, but like, why is it that you don't have a roster with an extra kicker? You know what I'm saying? I don't get it.
As much as you would think Washington would, as much trouble as they've been having this year with the kickers. I mean, they let Dustin Hoffman go. They get the new guy in. They literally get rid of him. They pick up Slay. Slay pulls his hamstring. So to me, I still think it's kind of. I get it's two different types of kicking, punting, and field goals, but I always thought that both the kickers could kick field goals because I always thought if one got hurt, the other one was your backup.
Yeah,
as I don't know if that's the new age of kickers because I always thought it was like that, and it's weird not seeing it. I at this point I think Washington needs to make an extra roster spot and carry two kickers.
Right. I mean, honestly, we've seen that too. I think it was another team this year that had the same issue. I can't remember who it was, but
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the team either.
You gotta just, at this point, like they both, if you're gonna have two people on there, they gotta both be able to do the same thing. Like I don't get it, man. I'm not gonna sacrifice the game just because one guy can't kick field goals,
Right. And that's where it was at. I'm just like, because I forgot about it. And I'm like, we were down there. We could have kicked the field goal and went up a little bit more. You wouldn't be. It didn't matter if they scored 2-point conversion or not. You still had the lead. And I'm sitting here like, why are we not kicking? And then I remembered because I was like, Slay got hurt. That's what I was like. And then I remembered it through the game. I'm like, man, this could be bad. It's going to be real bad. Because I was actually, when they threw that one, when we scored that touchdown, I think it was a touchdown. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. But I think it's a touchdown when they threw that one right there to Logan Thomas.
I
thought he had his hand underneath. And the rule is as long as your hand is underneath, the ball can touch the ground.
Right, absolutely.
And
I agree with you on that one.
But I don't know. I mean, they see what they see. I mean, it could have went either way, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, right. It was a close tight game. So they're gonna, we always got to question the officials too when they get down in the tight situations. Are they just throwing the flag, trying to help help this other team win or what? But I agree with you. It was a catch. It was definitely a catch to me. Yeah. But I mean, y'all got the win. It was ugly.
I mean, put this in the wild card spot now. So I mean, it's still like every time I think of the records right now, I'm thinking 5 and 6, and you're in the wild card. You're the 7th seed right now.
You helped out my record, okay? You helped out my record. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate Washington.
Well, if you play any NFC East the rest of the year, I expect to win.
Hey, we'll try to deliver the favor back. You know what I'm saying? But I really do appreciate it because again, we making that move, man. I'm just gonna keep an eye on them, but I'm gonna keep talking trash though. You already know that.
Going into the next one here, the Cowboys, are they gonna lose tomorrow night? Are they gonna lose tomorrow night? I hope to God they do.
Well, you might get your answer, man. You might have your prayers answered because again, it ain't looking too good for them Cowboys, man. I needed all the Cowgirl fans to check in, man. Hey, I don't know what y'all gonna do because at the end of the day, man, it's just
we got terrible. Mr. $95 million man starting tomorrow,
bruh. And he hurt.
I ain't see anything about him being hurt. I think he's good. I think he's recovered.
I mean, from what I seen, he say his knee hurt. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
He's always hurt. He's 30-something years old and shouldn't be playing quarterback. He should be a tight end, and that's it.
I mean, he hurt. Then you got your boy. You got what? You got Zeke back there. Crying. Yeah, they crying. That's exactly what they doing. You don't get nothing else from me. And then and I say this, you don't get nothing else from me, cowgirls. You crying, you hurt right now, you scared.
I
It's
like
okay
it.
to be
I
scared.
like it. It's a joy to me.
Yeah, it's okay to be scared because you know what I'm saying. As long as y'all are scared, America is okay. As long as you saying you're
As long
American,
as y'all are
team,
losing,
we're
America's okay.
Oh yeah, we're fine. We're definitely fine. Just keep right on going. Do what you got to do, man.
Keep
Because at the
losing.
end of the day, it's a problem. It's a
Yeah,
problem. But they got these COVID situations going on, and we knew that at some point in the season we was gonna see something like this. We seen it happen with Green Bay. So now you got the COVID situation at the wrong time.
Right.
Like, I mean, granted, a number of the Dallas Cowboy fans, they're great. They're grateful that McCartney's not coaching. I don't know how grateful I would be. It ain't gonna help you, but you got players that are out as well. So now it's starting to be.
Maybe they'll run the ball.
With who? With who?
Pollard. Maybe he'll get to touch the ball.
Come on, man. You ain't gonna get that man the ball. Zeke, the sunrise is setting Zeke and with Jerry Jones. You know that, man.
Let's hope. Like I would like to see them run the ball. Honestly, I'd like to see them give Dak's arm a little break.
I mean, they at this point they want Dax to have comeback player of the year, whatever it is they got. You know, I don't know, but again,
I don't know what that does for you. I mean,
right. But you got to look at it like I said last.
I didn't know
show,
comeback
man.
player of the year pays you any money or helps you profit anywhere along the line of margin.
Look, you going in the Caesar Superdome, right? You going in there after the Bills Mafia just came and took over the place. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much said it in the what's the field the Bills play? I don't even know. I don't even know no more. But they turned it into their house. So you know New Orleans is not happy about that, man. So they not being happy about that. They coming for you. They coming for you any kind of way. I mean, are we see is Taysom Hill?
Yes, he is.
Starting?
Yes, he is.
Boy,
Taysom Hill is a starter with whatever his name is at backup.
And
Seaman, whatever his name is. I don't know what his name is.
Right. I think they got Alvin Kamara is questionable, so you probably could see him back. Ooh. Yeah, it's gonna get rough. It's gonna get rough, Dallas.
Did we see Mr. Rough. 95 million here, Taysom Hill, put touchdowns up? That's the question.
Listen, man, I ain't seen a dude throw a touchdown in I don't know how long. We do know they're gonna run the Wildcat though. We do know they're gonna do that. We do know he gonna run some read option. Bro. Oh yeah, he gonna definitely do that.
What? Like we got another excuse out here for the Cowboys. So the O-line is now responsible for the Cowboys' run struggle.
Wait. No. Let me stop this right now. Let me just stop this whatever it is they talking about, whoever's talking about it. Let me just stop you right there. All we've been hearing the past 2 years, oh, we got the best offensive line. Oh, that's why Zeke does what he do. Okay. You still got the best offensive line. What did you do? You get rid of somebody? Just because you got one person, 1 or 2 people hurt? Your offensive line trash now? No, don't work like that. Sorry. We ain't giving you no pass, Dallas. You don't get passes. You supposed to be America's team, the great. You got Zeke back there. Zeke eats, right? Ain't that his thing? He do the eat. He ain't been doing that in a minute. So now, what I need for you to do, first of all, put your mask on your face. Do what you're supposed to be doing so you can get your guys back on the field. But at the end of the day, you get ready to get whooped again. You're going to get whooped by New Orleans. New Orleans is 5-6. Y'all 7-4. You going to New Orleans, you're going to get whooped. And when you lose, oh, man, you lose to the Raiders, and then you come and lose to that. Come on, man. Get out of here, man. No excuses, bro. No excuses. They ain't getting no excuses, man. We ain't giving them nothing.
Right now, there's nothing. There's no injuries reported right now for that game. But I don't know if that has to come out. I think that has to be in by tomorrow.
I'm just saying. Just saying, bro. Like they don't come out here throwing the excuses out on the court, talking about, we doing this, we got this, we got. Nah, we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. Remember, at the beginning of the season when y'all started. All we heard was, we on our way, baby. How about them? How about them? We don't hear about how about them no more. What about them?
Brokeback Mountain over there.
What about them? What about them? That's
I don't know. I mean, honestly, like, I'm hoping, like, just because my boys is, you know, like my boys are in where they're at, and then they get to play. I mean, right now, I'm hoping we see these boys show up. We see the Saints show up after their horrible showing against the Bills. But we'll see. I mean, it's one of those things that I'm very interested in to see how they respond to that. I mean, this is huge for them. I mean, they're 5-6, so they're not totally out of the NFC race at 5-6 as we see with Washington. So I mean, if they can win here, that puts them at 6-6. Cowboys drop 7-5. That gives, I mean, that probably gives them a shot somewhere along the East of being in the playoffs if they can win some games here. And then
the big thing is if.
I mean, it's always an if. It's always an if when you're playing. I mean, your team's hurt, bro. I mean, you got a beat up team. You got a guy that thinks he's a quarterback, and we don't know how far he can throw the ball. Honestly, I have no clue how far he can throw the ball. But that's the thing, is like, if you get Kamara back, there's a big part of your offense back. You may be able to shift some things up, get your receivers in different positions. Because I mean, we all know, like, if Kamara's in the game, he's a guy that can touch the ball. Like, he touches the ball one time, he could be gone. He makes plays like that. That's what he represents, and that's what makes him so dangerous. And having that kind of power, I guess you want to say, as a running back. I mean, it will be interesting if he is back playing, because I mean, that's something they haven't had in quite a few weeks, of having like somebody that's been around them and knows the offense as well as he does. A lot of these guys coming in, I mean, they got running backs that I don't even know half their names anymore.
Right.
So this takes a lot of pressure off of those guys. It takes a lot of pressure off the receivers, because Kamara demands that much attention. So hopefully we'll see him back. Hopefully we'll see the Saints pull out a victory here. The Cowboys,
that's all we want, is
just lay down.
Let's
lay it down,
that's
baby.
all we want.
Like Lloyd says, lay it down.
Saints, get the victory. That's all we need. Get the victory. Help everybody out, man. Help America out.
It's just so crazy what could happen in the NFC right now. Like, how close, like with Cowboys, they're pretty much sliding right now, as I take, that's my take. But then you also have a lot going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if they start sliding, they fall, Saints grab a victory here, this East picture just gets crazy. Like, if you get really into the conference, like, I'm gonna get into the conference real quick here and look at this conference standings. I mean, Dallas slides, they go to 7-5. You guys are 6-5. So the Rams are sliding, as we know. They lose another one. That's 7-5. And that makes this whole backside crazy. Like, this division is so wild right now. Look at this. I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams. I mean,
what you gotta see, man.
You got 5. You got 3. You got 2 teams at 5-7. Then you got 4 teams sitting at 5-6. Right?
What you gotta see, man.
And these are teams that are actually somewhat playing right now. Somewhat. I mean, you got Carolina in there. And what's crazy is that you can't even talk about the Chicago Bears or New York Giants being totally out of this right now. And they're 4-7. That is the wildest thing. Like, I'm looking, like, and here's even wilder yet, because I don't think this fully puts Seattle out of it at 3-8. Because any one of these teams start sliding and they start winning somehow, they're back in it.
percent.
which is mind blowing. Like, does that even give the Lions a shot at 3-10?
Definitely not. Definitely doesn't get a line.
If they're
Lions fans don't get your hopes up. We're definitely not giving you a shot at anything.
So like,
but the first round pick right now. That's
my only thing is because we have the extra week in here. If these teams start losing, right, and it's not division games that they're losing, like, and the Lions start winning, that would be like I'm telling you, bro, this thing is so crazy right now. The playoff picture as of right now in the East, you're looking at the Cardinals. The Cardinals are gonna clinch. They're first. Then you got the Packers, you got the Bucks, you got the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The Rams, the 49ers, and then rounding out the top 7, you got Washington. But the bubble is dumb. The bubble is dumb. Like,
that's why we don't know who's gonna win this Super Bowl this year.
Like, they still have they have the Lions on the bubble. So, like, you got the Falcons. This is a team we have not been. It has not been good for them, but they are on the rise right now of winning. They're 5-6. It's like I don't know that I've ever seen the East this close. Cause it's not like that over in the AFC. I mean, it's kind of close, but like, I mean, most of these people have the same records. I mean, you got the Ravens. Ravens are sitting there at number 1, 8-3, but the Patriots can easily take that. You got the Ravens. They lose one, and the Patriots win. They go to number 1. And you got Tennessee at 8-4. The Chiefs at 7-4. The Bengals at 7-4. The Bills at 7-4. And then the last person is the Chargers at 6-5. Like, that whole division could swing by the end of this. And I mean, and then you have people in the bubble. You got the Raiders, you got the Broncos, you got the Colts, the Browns, and then it gets really ugly from there.
That's tough.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's wild. Like, I mean, have you ever seen something like that in all the football you watched? Is something being that close on each side like that? Usually it's pretty dominant,
right,
on both sides between these. Like, it's a weird year of football, man.
I mean, I haven't, but it's just it's strange to even like you said, we looking at the East, but the East is not
the East of old. I get that, but
yeah, it's not the East of old, man. It's still like it's pretty much a trash division. I mean, everybody just not winning, and the teams that are supposed to be winning, we don't see them at the top. It's just crazy. It's crazy because, again, we could very well say Green Bay is going to take it. We can very well say Tampa Bay is going to take it, but you can't. At this point,
there's
really
I'm 100% with you of not being able to take it anywhere. Like, I mean, it can flip so much within these next couple of weeks. Like, the East is where it's going to be. If any type of football, like, I'm not, like, I hate Dallas, I hate the Giants, I hate the Eagles, but that's my role as a Washington fan.
Right.
But I think you're going to see some of the best football played coming up in these next couple of weeks because they have to play each other so much.
Right.
Like, it's going to be wild. I mean, you got Dallas coming to Dallas got to play Washington twice. Washington's got to play the Eagles twice. And then Washington finishes out with the Giants. The Giants are the only team that's not going to face the division as much as these other 3 teams. That's the only team that doesn't have to face. They have to face each. I think they have to face each team one more time. So they're not facing it like you got Dallas, then they get the Eagles, then they go back, then they got Dallas again, then they got the Eagles, and then they got the Giants. That's Washington's schedule, which is nuts. Like, I mean, we can see, like, it's going to be fun to watch the East.
Yeah,
down the stretch. 100%. Hopefully,
100%.
Washington will go out to LA, give them a good smack, and come back with another dub. But
yeah,
like I said, the East is going to be wild down the stretch to see who makes the playoffs. Like, I mean, yeah, you could easily see Washington hit to first place, Dallas take that big slide, Giants jump up. Like, it would be wild.
It's definitely all about ruining somebody's hopes and dreams.
It is. It is absolutely.
That's what it all. That's what it all boils down to.
The East is going. I think the East going to come down to like the last year. I think it's going to be last season all over again when it comes down to the last game of the season.
Yep.
And you know the Eagles, they like to throw the game, so we'll see if they want to throw another one.
Yeah.
But moving on to this one, we moving into the NCAA now, and we got the college rankings. Take it away, sir. I know you about this life.
Man, listen, I am about this life. I love this type of life. Y'all know I'm a college football guy. Love it through and through. But listen, Wolverines, I'm going to tell you something right now, man. I don't think y'all ready. I don't think y'all about this life y'all about to fool with over here, man. Because listen, right now, as the standings and the way that it's showing in the bracket, you got to go play Alabama. Man, listen.
Don't nobody want that.
You played Ohio State. I get it. You won the game. You ain't won that game in a while. It's been a long time coming for that. I understand it. I truly do. But that wave you riding off of that game, I don't think it carries you into this. If you, and this is only if you're gonna beat Iowa coming up in that Big Ten game. That's it. If you lay an egg against Iowa, that already shows your true character. But right now, if you beating them and you set on the side of the bracket with Alabama, man, y'all gonna have to play. Y'all gonna have to play ball, man. Don't get me wrong.
Iowa's hot right now too. Iowa, if you guys follow college ball, Iowa's on a 4-game win streak right now, which is going to be. I mean, even though they just beat them. I mean, they're on a 4-game win streak, so you got both teams hot right now. This could be a nice little Donnybrook over there. This could be a really good game.
They jumped up to number 2 though, bro. Like they just jump up to number 2 spot. That's huge. That's huge. And for you to, like, I always say this. I always tell people this. Like, they say, well, numbers don't matter. The rankings don't matter. Yes, they do.
In college football, they absolutely do.
Yes, it does, bro. Listen, you wear that number 1 on you, you got a target on you. Number 1 to 2, you got a target on you. But when you get into these college football playoffs, listen to me, you going up against somebody like Alabama and you ranked higher than them, oh, they coming for you.
Oh, yeah.
They coming for you. And I mean, they coming for you meanwhile. It ain't going to be nothing you can do. Trust me, I'm a Notre Dame fan. We sitting at number 6. I'm okay with that because I don't want no smoke with no SEC team.
You a Notre. Okay. So I'm going to hit this. I got to ask you about this because we in the rankings. But I got to ask you about this because you're a Notre Dame fan. I got to ask you about Mr. Kelly dipping on y'all. How you feeling?
Let him go.
I got that part, but how you feeling about it? Like, how do you think he did it the right way, or is you think that was some really, like?
Listen, I put it like this:
because it messes with kids' heads sometimes, man.
Kelly has been secretly wanting to be out of Notre Dame for the longest, man.
Right?
He ain't like, well, and we ain't talking like, well, he got a winning record. I get that he got winning record, but when we look at it, man, it's not the winning record that we want. We got to the national championship. We faced off against Alabama. We laid an egg. We didn't even think we were supposed to be there. We've been in some top bowl games. We lost. I mean, at the same time, Kelly, he's a good coach. Don't get me wrong. Very good coach. I mean, he's all right. But I just don't think that you can go over to an SEC school like UCLA. I mean LSU. Sorry, LSU, and be effective with the style of offense and the things that you run. Like we're really like a slow team. And then now you putting him in a situation of where he's getting ready to have a ton of recruits. I mean, big name recruits like coming in. Is he going to be able to handle that? Is he going to be able to handle being on that stage, having to play Alabama, Georgia? You know, you playing some competition. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you playing some competition. You can't come out the gate and start
top 5 all day.
Yeah, you can't come out the gate in games and start and don't know what you're doing. And on top of that, you don't need to be trying to run a 2-quarterback system over there. We run a 2-quarterback system in Notre Dame this year. It worked out. but it don't look like
you definitely not working. Yeah, that's definitely not working over there.
You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you done what you done. He's been wanting to get out because again, some of the people over in Notre Dame, I know for sure, ain't been wanting him there.
Right.
They like when you go into these games that we go into and we lose, there's no reason for us to be losing. Like games I watched this year, man. Listen, watch these games. We bring in a new defensive coordinator. I get that. Supposed to be came from Cincinnati. Supposed to be really good. Dude, I'm watching my defense. My defense is huge. They don't know how to play assignment football. We play assignment football, we win games. The game we lost against Cincinnati. If we would have played assignment football, we win that game.
Right.
But they didn't do it. They didn't do it, man. And then Brian Kelly, on the other hand, we got Mayock. Come on, man. Throw him the ball. Throw the big guy the ball. No, you want to run a 2-quarterback system. You want to have a running quarterback. Look at all the quarterbacks that came under Kelly, man, when we were there. That left. We had good quarterbacks, man, just because Kelly did not want to play them. And he didn't want to run certain plays for them. Like, that's what I get. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah,
but now, like
these kids too, if they're not gonna play, they're not gonna stay. They're trying to get to the league. You know what I mean? Like, and it's 100% understandable about quarterbacks doing that, because if you're not playing, there's no film, there's no shot of getting invited to the combine, there's nothing there for you. You got to go wherever you can hopefully get in and get some playing time.
Listen, man, I'm gonna get Kelly going to LSU, man. I'm gonna give him like a half a season. I ain't even gonna give him a full season. They're gonna run him up out of there. He ain't gonna make it over there in Death Valley, man.
Now
it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, man.
Here's the next question for you though. This has been on my mind since I seen this, and like I said, I know you're a big Notre Dame fan. We really haven't got to talk a lot of college so far in the show, and this to me seems where you can see Urban Myers come to Notre Dame.
I mean,
because I think they're ready to get him out of there down in Jag country.
Listen, man,
and I think like this is one, and I feel like they over Notre Dame, they would jock so hard for this man to bring him in.
That's true, but at the same time, man, we got to look at it like this too, man. Notre Dame is really not not gonna have the type of winning record that other schools have, because they're not willing to join a conference. That independence thing, man. All right, I get it. You play a lot of you play 5 ACC schools a year. I get that too. But at the same time, man, they hold a contract with NBC. They ain't willing to give up just because they don't want to, join a conference. That's right. What's holding them back. So to be honest, the coaching job is going to be really funny who comes in to get it. Because again, they know that for one, they have a hard time making national championship games and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. Urban Myers, I think he probably would be a good fit. But as far as the recruits now and what do you think with him,
if he would take the job, he takes this job. So he takes this job. He takes a 4-year contract, whatever, 3-4 year contract. Mm-hmm. Do you think because of his stature and what he represents and how well known he is in the college game that he can bring in recruits just off of his name?
I think so. I think they really can bring out, because a lot of times, kids do really look at that, especially coming out of high school. They look at the names of the coach and what they, their track record and stuff like that. And I mean, Urban Myers got a pretty good track record. But again, we also know Urban Myers living his best life right now. So at the end of the day,
but if he's at college, it's probably not. I mean, he goes to Notre Dame, a little less spotlight. You ain't on the NFL national stage no more.
It's a bar in every city you go to.
That's what I'm saying, though.
You know better. Come on.
But it might be a better fit for him. You know what I mean? Like, and
that's true.
I think honestly, Urban Meyer needs to go back to college football. That's where he works. I mean, we see it. We seen Steve Spurrier come out of college, and I mean, I think the last one to come out of college that was really successful was like Marty Schottenheimer.
Right.
And that was the last guy really successful besides Pete Carroll now, but Pete Carroll ain't even being successful anymore. But Pete Carroll also runs a different offense. And I think, like I said, it's these coaches that run the pro style offenses seem to have the best success when they come to the pros, because their offense is already gauged for an NFL style play. But like that was on my mind. I forgot you were a Notre Dame fan. I was dying to ask somebody that about Urban Myers, if they would think he would be the guy to go up there, and like, would they really lobby for him?
I mean, I think they probably would, dude. I think they probably would. We've had, people say Adam Gase is saying he would go for the job. Nobody's calling him, though. I mean, come on, man. Stay where you at.
Who else do you think that might be a fit here that gets a call?
Man, to be honest, I don't know. I really don't know, man. It's just really crazy how the coaching carousel is taking its course right now. A lot of people moving around, like, nobody's seen Lincoln Riley going where he was going, but he went. Right. It's like, bruh, at the same time, I want us to have my thing every year for Notre Dame is to have a good coach, a coach that's willing to get out there and have the players that we have. Because again, each year we look good on paper, we really do.
Right.
But
Notre Dame's always been a good team. I mean, they've always had the good stuff around them.
But that's why I say what I say about Kelly, man. Like, he's not that guy to be calling the plays. His play calling is not fit for an SEC school.
Right.
Period. I'm telling you, it's not. If he changes, it'll blow my mind. And I have to retract all my words here, what I'm saying today. We'll keep a close eye on it as it goes along. But I don't think that he will stand up over there as an SEC coach, man.
Now, being on a 7-game winning streak here with them and them having the record they've had, playing very good ball, what do you think this does to these kids, man? Like, what do you think that do they keep playing as well as they are? Or do you think this affects them? This affects them throughout the locker room and affects them out in the field with him finding out.
Anyway. It probably is going to affect us in a way, because what I read and what I heard, they said he sent a letter out or whatever. He had
it broke on the media first. That was the thing. All the kids find out through the media, and then they get a letter. They get a text message. Yeah, you get a text message with some BS in it. Oh, I love you guys. Right. Nah, bro. If you love somebody and you true to your word, you ain't going nowhere until after the season. Like, you can't let that happen during the season.
Right, and that's why I say he's been secretly wanting to get out, man. He's been secretly wanting to get out for the longest, dude. So, I mean, again, good luck to him.
I mean, he got a heck of a contract. I think it was some dumb money. Like, it was stupid money for it, like $15 million or something like that.
Good luck to him. Again, man, I think, this right here, if we can close the season out with a good bowl win, I'll be okay. But to see him go, I have no hard feelings. I don't think none of the Irish fans have hard feelings.
He said, see ya, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Facts, bro. I think we just want a coach that can come in here and coach this team to its capabilities. Because again, Notre Dame always has good players, man. Right. It just blows my mind that when we get ready to play the game, our coach, his play calling kills us half the time. Not, I got to go back to, I can't just throw it completely on him, the coaching staff. They, got to get right. We have to get right, man. Right. But like I said, good luck to him on his.
Well, I'm sure you'll get a new coaching staff here too. I mean, you'll probably get a bunch of new guys. Whoever coach comes in, probably gonna go get their guys, bring them in. You might see some of your guys stay around. But what do you see in these standings here? Like, if you see anybody that has a possibility to make a big jump coming up?
Oh man,
I mean, you're talking when you talked Iowa. That could be a dangerous team to sneak up. I mean, they're 10-2, 6-1, 6-1. So yeah. I mean, 4-1 away games, 6-1 at home with a 4-game winning streak. And then I mean, you still got Utah down here, kind of quiet at 9-3, which I'm surprised they're up as high as they are in the rankings at 9-3 when you have guys behind them with the bigger record. But this is something we've been talking about with these records being. It's a weird stat. You got like 8-4 guys over top of 9-3 guys. I mean, and I know it goes within conference and divisions and how they're winning there and that stuff. But I mean, there's some quiet teams. I mean, like, we got Louisiana, bro, like sitting down at the bottom. They're on an 11-game win streak. You got San Diego State. Like, these are the teams that me and you we just had this conversation that we'd love to see have some kind of like March Madness playoff type of deal, and let these teams get in and see what there is. Because I mean, we've recently in the NFL, you've been seeing a lot of some of these Division III guys coming in and actually being pretty freaking good. Division II guys, and it'd be nice to see what these teams hold. I mean, there's a lot going on in the rankings right now. I mean, you have a lot of teams on some big wins. You got a lot of people moving around.
A lot of 10-2 teams, man. I mean, a lot of 10-2 teams right now. It's just wild.
You see Ohio State take a big drop. I mean, they dropped 5 spots pretty much. I believe they were number 2 last week, and they dropped.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, who do you think you see pushing towards the top here? I mean, it's a tight race at the top. I mean, you only have 2 teams left that are 12-0.
I mean, if anything, man, if Michigan goes in again against Iowa and lays his egg, and you could possibly see Oklahoma State push up to even 2. I mean, we know they're in the number 5 spot, but it's just, I don't know, man. Like, this is just crazy to see this many 10-2 teams, and we still are not giving Cincinnati the love that they deserve.
And they're 12-0.
They're 12-0. They should, to me, being 12-0, bro, they should be number 2.
Right.
They should be
and that's the thing I've never freaking understood in college football.
Number 2.
Like, I've never understood it, and I think that's what aggravates me sometimes, and I stop watching it sometimes because I get so mad. I'm like, bro, like, these boys are 12-0. Like, how does that not get acknowledged? Just because Michigan knocks off Ohio State, they still have an L in their column.
Yep. It's selection committee, man, and that power schedule, man, like that stuff is just wild to me. Because again, I always say, and y'all have heard me say this before, like, I always want to see a smaller school, a smaller Power 5 school, a smaller just school, period, go up against a big dog. I really think that they can take a bigger school out, given the chance, but they're not given a chance, man, because again, the way that these selection of these rankings are, it's just wild.
It comes down to money. It comes down to a lot of money here, and that's what it is. That's why these smaller schools never get the shot, because they don't bring enough revenue in, and then they're afraid that they get on that big. I think that's what happens is they get afraid of these little schools, because them little schools sometimes they have one of those days. You see it in college basketball, March Madness all the time. One of them schools make it in, and they're in there upsetting the bracket, and then they make that deep run. And that's what I think they get
your bracket thrown out the door.
I think they get afraid. I think they get afraid that one of these small schools come in here and knock one of these Power 5 schools off the charts, and then they won't know what to do.
Right. But you got to look at it too, man. A lot of these teams that are sitting at the 10-2 record just don't show. Ole Miss, I mean, with Lane Kiffin and what he's doing over there, like, I mean, to me, they should probably have a better record. But Lane Kiffin and his play calling and his style and stuff like that, it's just terrible, dude. Like, some of the games they just lose. You like, why? Why are you losing them? Oregon is another one I look at, man. They started out hot, and then the next thing you know, they're down. There was a time when Oregon used to be in that top 5 talks. You know what I'm saying?
And Baylor. I mean, that's a couple teams that are kind of not where they usually are. Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But what do you think about this Michigan State team? They just came off a big win again. They came off a big win here a minute ago, so it's kind of like no.
Michigan State going into that game against Ohio State, that really showed they're not capable of being where they are. When they went in the Ohio State game and they just got clobbered, I mean, come on, man. That's not right. But then again, we got to think about the cloud is over the school right now. We got Mel Tucker, accepting the money that he accepted. I mean, if it was me, I would want to win. I would want to win going out, being looked at like that as one of the top paid coaches. Like, but it's just that the loss against Ohio State that really took them out. I mean, but their program looks solid. As far as what they have, they got their back. I think he's still in the Heisman talks right now. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's just strange. It's really strange. Because again, these schools that you've seen come out the gate firing on all cylinders, just like they died off. Off. So I don't know. Again, with Notre Dame, again, I go back to them. Number 6, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, I'm not sitting here harping on and say, oh, we should be 3-4 now. I mean,
dude, I wish I could see the top 5. I mean, top 25. I mean, it's been a long time. Been since like the 90s. That's what it feels like for me. Being a Miami boy, being a Hurricanes fan. It's been a while. I mean, I got kind of the same effect going on with the Hoyas. Their recruiting is god awful. I
Sheesh.
don't know, man. I don't know. It's tough being a Hoyas fan. Tough being a Washington fan. Tough being an Orioles fan. The only thing I probably got going for me is being a Chicago Bulls fan right now. I mean, the rankings is crazy. I'm very interested to see what happens here with Iowa and Michigan.
It's definitely going to be a big weekend in college football coming up, man. I'm definitely.
I mean, do you see anybody surprising you here? Do you see anybody beating somebody they shouldn't be beating and making a big jump?
Not necessarily. I mean, like I said, the close game I'm keeping an eye on is Michigan and Iowa. That's the game everybody wants to look at right now because Michigan can be beat. That's the thing about it. They can be beat, man. So we just gotta look at it for what it is. But I mean, the game for me coming up is the SEC championship game because this is the game that everybody's been wanting to see. Like, I mean, you hear about it 24/7. Georgia, Alabama, who's the king? Who runs it? You know what I'm saying? And that could be, they talk about who run it, and then the next thing you know, they in the playoffs and they playing again.
So what do you think happens there? So you got Georgia beats Alabama. I guess Alabama a 2 spot in the loss column.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think happens going into it? Like, I mean, going into the playoffs
they're still gonna be there. They're still be there. I don't see Alabama falling out of that. I just don't. I mean, they can say what they want. Oh, Alabama dropped, whatever. Nah, no. Alabama gets all the praise, man. They gets all the praise. They're not gonna fall. They're not gonna fall at all. What's they gonna make them 11-2? So I mean, what you get Iowa, they can win 11-2, but they're definitely not gonna get them over that.
What about Oklahoma State? Are they the real deal there, or are they just floating around?
I mean, Oklahoma State.
I get so up and down with Oklahoma State because like one year they'll be really bad, next year they'll come out and win. Right. And then they go back to losing, and then they come back to winning.
Good. They play good, but what's standing right now in that bracket for the playoffs? Nah,
not a chance.
Nah. You might get one of them any given Sundays. You might have a chance against Cincinnati. That's it. That's the only thing I see. Other than that, nah, man.
I mean, Cincinnati, only other team out here with 12-0 record.
Yeah, Cincinnati playing ball, man. Nobody's giving them credit.
I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't have seen Cincinnati up there as high as they are. I wouldn't at the beginning of the season. No way. I would have thought Cincinnati would have been playing like that.
I'm gonna go on record right now, today, and say that if Cincinnati is still in that top 4 when them playoffs start, I'm riding with them Bearcats, man. I'm just riding.
He's gonna ride with the Bearcats. I'm riding with the
Bearcats, man. I got to go because again, I love teams that don't get the praise that they get. I'm riding with the Bearcats, man. I gotta ride.
You like that? You like me? You like that underdog, man? The underdog story is always the best one, man.
Bearcats have an opportunity. That gives them an opportunity to be able to shock the world.
Right?
Why not? Why not?
Absolutely. I'm with you with that one because I love seeing the underdog.
Yeah.
And them not getting any love right now. Oh, definitely. I probably ride with you because my team ain't nowhere near, so I can go with whoever I want. But getting into this one, this gonna be his favorite topic of the day right here. As soon as I hit this button, it's gonna be his favorite topic. Look, he's smiling already. Look at him, all giggly. Duke, not number 1 for long. Duke
and
falling out.
This man.
Duke falling out.
I need all the Dukies to check in right now. I need every Dookie in the chat. Wherever you at, check in. I need you to check in. Hit me up on Twitter, Lions Den, at Lions Den 272, the number 272. Hit me up. You want to talk trash? Please do. Yeah, Carolina ain't ranked. It don't matter. You lost. Like I said, you're beatable. I've been saying this for a while, man. They're beatable. No, you can't tell Duke you can't tell them nothing, man. Oh, we got this, we got it. Listen, Duke was so comfortable last night. They were so comfortable last night. I'm put it to you like they for sure thought they was gonna win the game. Pablo doing his thing out there, shooting, being fancy, doing all the little hoop to the la 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 la. Dude, guess what? There's teams that like to play 2 halves. They play all the minutes. Ohio State told you we play the minutes, baby. You got to play to beat us.
So what you saying here is you saying is Duke's a first half team and not a second half team?
Duke is who we thought they were. Just like that. They are who we thought they were. Flashy, but guess what? That don't help you win chips, baby. You got to get out there and hustle. I don't care how many recruits you bring in. I don't care what it looks like. You got to get out there and hustle. You got to play 2 halves of basketball to win the game. But see, when you come out here and you think you got Ohio State beat, I don't even know. What was Ohio State's record as of last night? Unranked. They were unranked.
They're 5-2.
Unranked team.
They're 21 now.
See what I'm saying? But they got it on their schedule that they beat you guys. They beat Duke, and that's what matters, man.
Yeah, that's just going to fuel the fire now.
Listen, this game right here, I don't care what no one can say is they can check in, that whoever can check in and say, oh, it don't say nothing. It says a lot to me because when we get down to the tournament, we already know Duke going to be shaking in their boots. What do? Again, they ain't nothing but a 4-out, 1-in team. We know how they play. These style of recruits that Duke got in right now, these boys, they can run the floor. They can do all this other stuff.
Right.
But that's not Duke's game. See, they not used to running like that. They not used to playing 2 halves of basketball full pace. That's what happened to them last night. Ran out of gas and got beat. So again, I'm hooping and hollering.
They were outscored 14-1 in the last 5 minutes last night.
Right. See what I'm saying? Gassed. Just like that, gassed. So pay attention, college hoop fans. Watch and see what I tell you. They get to the tournament, they're gonna drop out. They may just drop out early. What do
you think about this though? Because I'm not. This is kind of one of those ranking things where I'm a little upset with this. Is that I feel as they lost, Gonzaga won. I feel like Gonzaga should be 2 and Duke should be 3.
Listen, man, it goes the same across the board when it goes to college football to college basketball. When you got that number 1 on you, you got a huge target on you, man. Everybody coming to beat you. You can't get lazy. You can't get comfortable. You can't get soft and think that, oh, this number 1 ranking, I'm the king of the hill. Nah, it don't work like that. It don't work like that, man. When Gonzaga was number 1, Duke came for him and knocked him off, right? They didn't slide far because Duke was ranked. But for Duke to go up there and get beat by somebody unranked, oh, you should slide. I need for everybody under them to win so they can slide hard. Slide them out of the top 10. Slide them out of the top 10, which we probably know they ain't going to slide that far, but you ain't in the number 1 spot.
Yeah, again, I mean, like you had some guys coming up behind. I'm kind of with the Villanova thing, I'm kind of lost by that because they're 4-2, and then you have Baylor sitting at 7-0. And you got Texas at 5-1 with Arkansas at 6-0 and Kentucky at 6-1, BYU at 6-0, Arizona 6-0. How are they ranked? Is this going off their power? Like, have they played that many big schools already?
Yeah. I mean, they're going off basically off the power that they've been playing. A lot of times, you're just now getting into a lot of the big schools matching up right now. So.
That's what I'm saying. Right. I mean, the season early, I didn't think they played big schools right off the rip like that.
Like right now, it's just going off the schedule, going off of what you got going on. But like I said, we're moving into the month of December now. So we're gonna get close to it's time to start balling because you normally playing. You start playing
these teams start spreading out here and seeing who is who.
You started your conference play around January, so it's getting ready to really get heated for you. And Duke already knows the fact that you need to win everything that you can now, because when you get into ACC, it may look like it's easy, but you got 2 losses already. You got 1 in February and you got 1 in March. I don't care what nobody say. We're going to get them twice. Oh, yeah, we coming to get you. The whole method to the madness for everybody in the NCAA this year when it comes to Duke should be to ruin Coach K's dream of going out on top. And I think we seen that. We seen what could possibly happen with that last night. Because again, playing against good Ohio State team who wasn't good, came beat Duke final seconds. The team that deserved to be at the top, listen, I hate to say it, but they showing top plays. And a lot of people won't believe it, but it's Purdue. It's Purdue. Purdue's playing good ball. We played them. Them boys are solid. They're fast. Got a big man down low, as Yao Ming. Now, if Purdue starts to play ball and really ramp it up and can stay ramped up, they could be a force to be reckoned with. And you could very well see them in the Final Four and winning this year. But again, like I said all the time, I'm a Carolina fan. I think Carolina's going to win it every year. And that as of right now, we're going to make our way in the rankings.
We always see Gonzaga. Gonzaga's just that team, when it's in the month of March, is deadly. Somehow they seem to be always deadly in the month of March. Always knocking off some big team. Always making a somewhat deep run or getting there. And then seeing Gonzaga beat UCLA, which is I mean, that's a big basketball school as it is, UCLA. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's a big win. Like, that's not a little win. That's a big win. And seeing them, I don't know, man. It gets me irritated seeing them. It's kind of like a Cincinnati thing, man. Like, they're not getting the love. Like, you're knocking off UCLA. It's different than knocking off, Duke lost to Ohio State that wasn't ranked. You gotta fall. Like, right. You have to fall in the rankings. Not no one spot. You lost to a non-ranked team, and you're still number 2.
But I mean, let's just be real. The rankings for college right now, they kind of really don't matter. With college basketball, they kind of really don't matter. It's just the fact that you wear that number 1 badge, you got a target on you. But at the end of the day, we know that if you're playing very well and you got a good record, you can get into the tournament because there's spots open. But at the end of the day, again, I mean, let's just be real. I mean, everybody wants to be ranked. Everybody wants to be ranked. Do I want to be ranked? I don't care about it because that don't determine who I am at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Again, I know North Carolina's going to make a move. They're going to make a move at some point in time to get in the top 25. I don't necessarily, it's already being shown that you don't have to be top 10 to win the tournament.
Right. That's what I love about the March Madness tournament, man. That's what I love about it because that's where you see some of the best basketball played, man. Like that. Absolutely. Every one of those games is a fight to the end. I mean, you get that random one that's a blowout here and there, but you get to see these boys play. Like, they play their hearts out. They leave everything they got on the court, and I can't wait. I could skip December, January, February, just get to March.
Right. It's always a good feeling to hoist that banner up in the top of your roof, man. I know Carolina got a lot of them.
You see it? Do you have your sleeper picked yet in this or not?
My sleeper picks for this year? Nah. I usually normally get my sleeper picked around about last of December, sort of, when we start to really, like I said, get into conference play. But as of right now, like I said, I had to pick a team. I know my man Wags out there probably listening. Purdue, hey, they looking good. I cannot front, man. Nobody's seen this coming from Purdue. Again, it's been a long time. The Purdue Boilermakers have been in the talks of being one of the top ranked teams. Again, like I said, Duke, whatever. I mean, y'all can get all the recruits you want and all that other stuff. Yeah, all the Dukes
still gotta play.
They falling down. It's going down, man. And when I say it's going down, it's going downhill because at the end of the day, man, you lose Coach K this year. I mean, they gotta play. You losing Coach K this year, you bringing in John Shire as your coach, whatever. Okay, whatever.
That's gonna be a weird sideline look, man. Not seeing Coach K out there. That's gonna be wild, bro. Like, I honestly never thought I would see it. I honestly thought I would never see it. Just, I mean, it's kind of like I thought I'd never seen John Thompson leave, and he left, and then
it happens, man.
It went downhill real quick.
You get old, but I mean, it's like I said, this is not the only time you're gonna see Duke fall in the rankings again. I think they showed last night that they're beatable. Well, we always know that they're beatable. If you're a real college football fan, if you're a Carolina fan, they always beatable in our book. But they showed last night that they're really beatable. Again, I've been saying it, and people go against me all day long. You don't know it. You don't know this. You don't know da. I said it last year, and I'll say it again. They're not winning it, man. They're gonna play good ball and not win it. I don't care. It's just not. Because again, Wendell Moore is not ready. Yeah, he's considered as the top, one of the top, but he's just not ready, man. He's not ready. He's all hype. He's all hype.
He said he's all hype, bro. My man is throwing shots like
all the time. All the time. All the time, man. Got to.
Then so we're gonna move on to the NBA here. We got LaCovid 6. LeBron James in COVID protocol may miss up to 10 days, I think, or 10 games. It was something like that. I think it was 10 days. It was something crazy. I mean, what do we do here?
Question is, what the Lakers gonna do? I mean, we see
it's gonna be the Russell AD show now?
I mean, at this point, it's gotta be Russ. I mean, Russ has been stepping up in the absence of their play. I mean, let's be real. Lakers ain't what they like, bro. Like Laker fans, y'all was just like, yo, we got the perfect team. But one piece of information that y'all forgot is team chemistry. Team chemistry always plays a good part into whether a team is going to be off the charts. But see, now you're dealing with you're dealing with a whole lot of other issues. We seen them be in the news with the fight that just happened with LeBron elbowing a guy in the mouth. We seen AD and Dwight Howard go at it on the sideline. So we know that there's a lot of stuff that's going on with the Lakers. But this right here, this just piles on to it, because now you got LeBron James out, and I don't know what I don't know if they got critical games coming up. Games they possibly need to win or whatever. But I mean, it's just that this whole thing is, with the way that the NBA has it set up with their COVID-19 thing, is it's a minimum mandate of 10 days of isolation away from the team, because we know for sure that the NBA is the league that does not play when it comes to this COVID situation. That's how we first found out about it in the sports world in general, was the NBA with
I mean, they have some solid games coming up that's looking like he could be missing here. I mean, they got the Clippers coming in.
Yeah.
They got the Celtics. They got the Grizzlies. They got Oklahoma City Thunder coming. They got the Magic. They got the Dallas Mavericks, Timberwolves,
and
Chicago Bulls.
With LeBron,
and they do got. I don't know how far out that is, but I don't know if that'll take them that far. But they do have the Suns coming up.
Ooh.
And that's December 21st. But I don't know if that's in his 10-day span there.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, man, we gotta be real about it and know that, LeBron needs to follow the rules just like everybody else. I mean, there was pictures that surfaced and people were taking and showing the reason why he's in this protocol is because they got the N95 mask. We know they're supposed to be the ones to protect you most, but LeBron's wearing it down over his nose and all of this other stuff. I get it. You got to breathe. You're playing ball, you got to breathe.
Right.
But being in the league, Adam Silver's not going to let this just right. slide. It ain't happening. Because again, the NBA, they the first league that kind of took it serious. They had the bubble in Florida where they took these cats away from their families and all of that other stuff, and they're not wanting to lose more money. The NBA lost so much money doing that, not having fans in the stands. You've seen it where Mark Cuban took it upon himself to pay for his employees at the actual stadium for them to get paid during that time because they weren't making money. So we know that, this is a serious business. Business. So,
so when I'm reading here, they're saying that like they said, it means one of two things. James said he is vaccinated, either tested positive for COVID or he had an inconclusive result. So what they're saying here is they said if James tests positive, he would likely be looking at a minimum 10 days away from the Lakers, unless he returns 2 negative PCR tests in a 24-hour span. So I guess they had to actually arrange transportation to take him back to Los Angeles from Sacramento.
Right.
Because they didn't want to leave the team.
They're not playing, man. You know for sure, like I said, they don't want any outbreaks to happen. Because again, you have an outbreak happen, dude. Teams, they forfeiting games too. They got to forfeit games. It ain't that many guys you got to think about. You thinking about with the NFL, you got a 53-man roster, right? You got to worry about this one. You ain't got to worry about that. It ain't that many guys on there, but they are in close quarters because we know an NBA locker room ain't that huge. So
they said he's actually gonna miss a couple. He's gonna miss a couple games. They said he's gonna miss at least a couple games here without him. A few games. So a few is like 2 games. Possibly more coming. I mean, I think that's gonna be a huge hit.
Yeah, but I mean, I know LeBron's probably gonna do what's best. Again, he's gonna look out for the team. He is a team guy, and he wants to look out for them. He wants to look out for his family as well. So he'll do what's best for them. But again, this just brings more woes to the Lakers, man.
So yeah, I mean, he would miss. They said if he does get this 10 days. If he does get the 10 days, he'll miss 4 games. So I would say the Clippers, Boston Celtics, the Memphis Grizz, and Oklahoma City would be his 4th game. So, I mean, at least they would end up getting him back. I mean, they get him back around December 12th. He would probably be able to come back, and then he would be playing in that strand, coming back, playing the Magics, the Mavs, the Timberwolves, the Chicago Bulls, and heading into the Phoenix Suns. I mean, so 10 days away, not being with the team. I mean, how does that affect? How would that affect him? I know he's gonna put the work in off the court and all that stuff, but
of course. I mean, we know LeBron he take real good care of his body, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be an interesting thing to see what happens here. But I'm definitely interested to see how they handle this and which way this goes. If he gets that special treatment, but like you've been saying, the NBA is not about the special treatment like the NFL is. There's no protection for number 6 in this case.
Right. They're definitely not gonna do that, man. Definitely not gonna do that. If it causes an outbreak. Again, they're gonna come down. They're gonna come down hard on the Lakers, but at the same time, I just think that a lot of the league players, they probably just. I think this probably became a case of just not really thinking too much through it.
Right.
More focused on basketball because again, we do have fans back in the stands. They're operating just as
they normally would.
Yeah, and it's very easy to forget, take your mask down or whatever. So, I mean, he'll do what's necessary, but in turn, this right here, you could possibly see the Lakers lose some games with him not being on the court because, again, their play right now is not where it needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, you would think it would be a lot better with what you got. You brought Russell Westbrook in. You got LeBron out there. You got AD, and then you got a couple other guys coming off the bench that are pretty solid. I mean, you would think they would they would be the team that would be hard to beat.
Chemistry, man. Chemistry.
And I mean,
chemistry matters in basketball.
100% chemistry is a big thing. But I mean, you would think those guys, as big as stars they are, they could get it together and pull it together and do what they need to, and just no one man above the team type of deal. I mean, I feel like you see a little bit of it. Because I mean, you have LeBron. LeBron wants the ball in his hands. AD wants the ball in his hands, and Russell Westbrook wants it in his hands.
But the question I have for this one though, with LeBron being out, will we start to see Westbrook really settle in to that "I am the man" syndrome?
I absolutely think so. If he's not there for 4 games, I mean, it's going to be a Westbrook show with a side of AD. I mean, we all know Westbrook, bro. Look how he was when he was in Oklahoma.
Yep.
He had Durant. He kind of ran out of there. You know what I mean? Like when he had him over there, he kind of ran him out of there. I think like Durant wanted the ball, Russell wanted to score, and I mean, they just couldn't cohese together. But I'm not really. I used to be a real big Russell Westbrook fan, but he talked so much crap about teams going and meeting these powerhouses. He said he'd never do it, and now he did it. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, man, what are you really about?
It's all about the chip, man. We know that. We know that, man. They're chasing championship.
But is the championship even there with this team? That's the thing. Is like you see these teams. Like I mean, look at the Warriors. The Warriors do it the best. I feel like they do it the best. I know that's your squad, but that's not even hyping them up just because you're on the other side of me. But I think they really do it the best because they don't get selfish. You know what I mean? They are literally out there playing basketball and they understand this person wants the ball, this person wants the ball. We all want to score, we all want to be that guy. But they put that kind of mentality to the side, and when they're on the court, it's whoever's lighting it up getting the ball. Whoever's hot is getting it. It's not they, and I think a lot of teams could learn a lot from how these guys structure themselves and really get on the court and go at it like they do. That's why they are so hard to be beat. I mean, even though they got beat last night, they barely got beat.
Right.
They just got outplayed last night. I mean, and that's all it was. They got beat by the better team of that night. And that was like, I think that was only their third loss of the season. Because they were 18-2 at once at the last time I had seen it, but I don't know. I think that might have been their third loss or something like that of the season. And that's one of those things is can the Lakers pull their mentalities together to become that team? I mean, let's see what the Warriors. Yeah, that was only their third loss last night, and that was they're literally tied with the Phoenix Suns right now, 18-3. So
I mean, it's definitely gonna be tough to see, tough for them to do. Because again, we know that with the Lakers being who they are, with all the people on their roster, everybody want them, man. Everybody want them. Every night they get on the court.
They're not really playing good ball though. I mean, honestly, they're ranked. They're in number 18 right now in that conference. I mean, you got the Minnesota Timberwolves over you right now. Yeah, and that's not even. I mean, yeah, you got 83 games to play, but you have teams that you wouldn't think would be over them. You know what I mean? You got a team you got the Jazz, which they have a team that could actually be really good, and when they're clicking, I mean, they're 14-7. You got the Mavs. Like the Mavs aren't that good. The Grizzlies aren't that good. The Clippers aren't that good. You got Minnesota. These are all subpar 500 teams to a team that should probably be way above 500, and they're not. They're 12-11. So what is really going on in Laker country?
I think with the fast start of the NBA this year, we talked about that, man. How the fast start of the NBA, like most people, again, like ourselves, we football guys right now, right. And we're not really paying attention to really what's going on. But it's a lot of good basketball being played. A lot of good teams out here doing what they like. I mean, let's take the 76ers, for instance, man. They're 11-10. Did we think they was going to be doing that with Ben Simmons in the way he was cutting up and going on? Nah, we didn't think so. But I mean, look at it. Charlotte's 13-10. Like, we talking about teams, dude, that literally last year was like, what, huh? Really?
Yeah, I mean, y'all right? It's weird though. Like these teams don't hold what the Lakers hold though. Like that's what gets me is that you guys, the Lakers have 3 mega superstars.
When you get comfortable, dude, and you think that you got it in the bag. Because, I mean, honestly, let's be real, man. Looking at this, when they was assembling that roster, you look at Carmelo signing, you see Westbrook signing, you see AD on the squad already, Dwight Howard, you got DeAndre. Ain't DeAndre Johnson part of the team, too?
I don't even know anymore. It's so many stars over there.
You look at how many people they got on that team. Them boys' mindset probably in the summer when they was practicing together, like, yo, we got this. We ain't got to worry about nothing, man. We straight. But you forget. You get so comfortable and now you like, bro, I gotta play. I gotta come out here every night because this person is not doing what I thought he was gonna do. But in a sense, it's really not that person doing what you thought he wasn't gonna do. It's the other team on the
Playing
other side of the
harder.
ball playing hard to beat you.
Right.
Because nobody wants to get beat by a bunch of superstars. A team that's assembled to win the championship.
Right. 100%.
Come on, man.
100%. I agree with you. I mean, but it's mind blowing to me to see them not at the top. Like it just really is. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me to a full extent. Like it don't make, like you have too many good players to be losing the way you're losing inside your division, inside your conference, all that, bro. Like I mean, you're 1-3 in your division right now, and yeah, we still early, but you're 6-7 in your conference. Is your conference that much stronger than you right now? Is there teams that we aren't seeing out here that may actually be good and we just overlook?
I mean, you don't overlook the Suns. You can't overlook the Suns, man.
Nah, I'm not saying that because they're at the top. I'm talking like you got LA, you got Minnesota right now, you got Portland coming up from back, you got Denver Nuggets. These teams are all like after Portland, it falls off pretty good. 8-14 teams in Sacramento, but like we said, it's still early. But you had these other teams that you didn't think would even be close to the Lakers floating around them, and then you got people in front of the Lakers that I didn't see being in front of the Lakers.
The only team that I don't see, well, two. The only two teams I don't see being in front of the Lakers, I couldn't say I seen being in front of the Lakers, is the LA Clippers and the Timberwolves. Now, that right there, I don't know. But now Memphis, Dallas, Utah, Golden State, the Suns, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Golden State, listen, Golden State, we know.
Yeah, they playing.
Rolling. Steph is going crazy right now. The Suns coming off that run that they had, they trying to get back there. Dallas, I mean, Luka. That's all you gotta say.
Luka.
That's all you gotta say. Luka, man. Luka is balling out, bro. Like, come on, man. Let's be real. And then when you look at the Utah Jazz is one of them up and coming teams, man.
Yeah, I think they're coming back. Like they definitely young and powerful, boys.
And people like, yo, wait a minute, what happened? Like, but you cannot discredit that team, man. They play good ball. They just don't mesh well down the end of the stretch. But now Memphis, this is the team I really pay a lot of attention to. Ja Morant, I mean, I know he's hurt now, but he's lifted that team to a point where they play ball.
I need him to keep lifting that team. I need him to get like up there and get like a scoring titles and all that. I got a couple rookie cards I need to go up in price.
Facts, bro. So you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta really take that in consideration. Those teams that are at the top, them top 5 spots, bro, they ain't no sleepers. You got
a lot. Like I agree 100% with the Utah Jazz. I think they are going to become a problem as this goes on because the Utah Jazz is just they're like you said, they're young, but they're young and smart. Mm-hmm. There's a difference between being young and not smart and like playing good ball. Like they're young, smart, and they understand where they want to be. And that's the big thing in NBA is having a team that knows they're young. They know they got work to do, but they're willing to put that work in, and they're pushing themselves to that level. And you're really starting to see it come off of last year when they had a little bit of success, a little not. I don't think it was as good as it was this year coming out the gate, but I mean we were also coming out of COVID, so that could have been a thing too because practices were weird and all that other stuff. But I mean now you're really starting to see them get in that groove. I mean they're 9-2 in the conference. I wouldn't have seen them at 9-2 in the conference this year after kind of last year. You know what I mean? Like that's not a bad record. 4-0 in their division, 8-4 at home, 6-3 on the road. I mean, you definitely getting it done on the road, and that's huge in basketball. Period. Like if you can win on the road, you should surely be able to win at home.
Right, 100%.
And they're on that rock. You got like. Like the top 2, bro. Like them 2 teams it's mind blowing. The Suns have lost only 2 games at home. They lost 1 on the road. They're 3-1 in the division, 13-3 in their conference. And then you got the Warriors at 10-2 in the conference, 4-1 in the division, 11-1 at home, and 7-2 on the road. That's proficient basketball. That's how it's done. Like this kind of reminds me back in the day, these two teams right here playing back in the 90s, where you had Utah and the Bulls and then the Pistons just banging out for that top spot. Like,
yeah.
And it's nice to see that kind of basketball again, because I kind of lost. I mean, you've probably been the same way. Is lost a lot of watching time in it because it was always so dominated by like 2-3 teams, and now you're getting a bunch of different teams back into it. Like how the 90s were, you had every team had at least a 1-2-3. Every team you see. I mean,
it all boils down to these Lakers having that target on them, bro. I'm telling you, it really does.
I mean, I could see it. It's just nice seeing these other teams. Like you're getting to see these other teams starting to come up and produce, and seeing something that, like I said, I never thought I'd see Utah be as high as they are right now in that division. But I want to get into this one though. This one, like, we're gonna get into the Suns. We gotta get into the Suns. We gotta get into the Suns. 17 in a row. 17 in a row. Like, we knew the Suns had something last year. They make it into the playoffs. They lose a heartbreaker. Get knocked out.
They fighting right now.
I don't even know what they fighting right now. They just whooping people's booties off the court, bro. They are not playing.
Listen, man, the Suns out here trying to make a statement. They trying to make a statement that, listen, everybody, we lost to Milwaukee. Yeah, we lost to Milwaukee. It's over. That's over, said and done. But we just letting y'all know, man. Coach Monty Williams is like, listen, boys ready. Chris Paul is like, we ready. Devin Booker's like, we ready. So y'all better know.
Booker actually hurt though. Booker got hurt last night.
Look, Hammy. I don't think it's nothing major, but at the end of the day, they let you know we ready. They got win number 17, not just against any team, but against the Golden State Warriors, man, who now sitting at the same record with them, 18-3. Like, come on, man. We just seen Steph lose his mind over a call, go off balling. And yeah, Golden State still playing without Klay Thompson. Would that outcome been different? I don't know.
I mean, he's been out. He's been off. He ain't been on the team for 2 years now. I don't think it's that big of a difference. I mean, they're producing way more. I mean, they're producing. That's all that matters. I mean, the records speak for themselves. But do you think that was a big statement game right there for the Suns beating the Warriors? I mean, the Warriors are the toughest team in the league right now. There's no questions about it. But
that's a huge statement game. That's a
17-win record against a solid, I mean, a team that only had 2 losses.
It's the number 2. They're now the number 2 team in the conference. So
are the Suns the better team now?
I mean, clearly it is. You winning 17 games, bro. Like,
I think that's the longest.
You're the best team in basketball. Ain't nobody else doing that right now.
The closest team to them right now is the Milwaukee Bucks with a 7-game win streak. So they're 10 games behind them.
17, bro. Like, they just rocking and rolling. I mean, yeah. Again, it's early in the season.
Right.
A lot of people say it's early in the season, but you winning 17 games. You can win 17, lose what? I mean, you go lose 5. Then you turn it back up and win 17 more? Man, I'm scared at this point. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait a minute. Why these dudes winning so many games so fast? But the way they playing, again, this team is assembled. We seen it last year. Right. They played their hearts out, man. I mean, I was rooting for them. I was rooting for Chris Paul because at the end of the day, NC zone, I wanted to see him win a championship. And I think that what they did last night puts them in that talk of saying, hey, we knocking on that door. Right. We're going to be back up there. And if we get in there, they win it. And I'll go ahead and say, if they get in there, they definitely going to win it this year. Yeah, they ain't going to make that same mistake, man.
They definitely going to be a problem if they get in there. If they get in there, they're going to be a problem. They don't, I feel what you're feeling right there. And I don't think they fumble this time. It's going to be a huge game because they're probably going to end up seeing the Warriors somewhere along there, and they're going to have to beat the Warriors. They're going to depend where they see the Warriors at. They're going to have to beat them maybe they're gonna have to beat them. What is it? It's best out of 7, so they're gonna have to beat them 4 times.
Yeah,
I mean, you're gonna that could be the best basketball we see in a long, long time. I mean, you're gonna see 2 powerhouses. This is like I'm getting amped up because I haven't watched the NBA as much as I've watched it this season in a couple of years. But I'm getting amped up because this is that kind of basketball that in the 90s was there. Like, you got 2 powerhouses, and you know they're gonna bang out. They're gonna be elbows flying. They're gonna be people banging down low. It's gonna be basketball, and you'll probably see some of the best games that they end up matching up.
Right. So I mean, like I said, don't look at this as saying, oh, they just winning right now because it's early. This is statement basketball. What they making? They definitely saying, listen, man, we knocking on that door. I don't care what y'all say. We went out last year. That Chris Paul is like, that was my year, but there has to be something that Monty Williams is saying to these boys. And like, listen, every game, blood, sweat, and tears. Go get it. 4 quarters. Go get it. 4 quarters. Suns just might be that team that all of us guys from the 80s want to see this year. Because again, we know ain't nobody gonna sit out just because they tired.
Right.
Just because they don't feel well. They gonna play just because they want to keep that momentum. They want to keep that drive going, and they want to say, if we make it to the finals, whoever has to play us in the 7-game series better be ready.
Yeah,
all 7 games.
Yeah, it's gonna be 4 quarters every game for these guys. Like, and that's the beauty of it, because you haven't really seen a team put a team out there that's giving you a full 4 quarters. I mean, there's guys. I mean, LeBron, he's one of those guys. He feels like he's tired. He goes sit down. Like, it's not like when you see them boys back in the 90s. They had just stupid minutes. Like, you couldn't get them off the court. You couldn't tell Jordan, hey, go take a break. You know what I mean? You couldn't tell Karl Malone, go take a break.
That's because they knew the teams was out there to get them too,
like,
man.
If anybody ever in chat ever got to see a Jordan Malone game, you've never seen them two sit down when they face each other.
Best basketball. If y'all not got it, listen, go back, pull up YouTube right now. Whatever y'all doing, go to YouTube after the show. Well, not right now, but after the show. Go watch it. You can watch any playoff Bulls game when they face the Jazz, bro.
I mean, you even see them play the Pistons when the Pistons were good, man.
Man, listen, that's great basketball. And again, that's why that's a whole nother time. Again, that's why I say, man, this is different eras, different basketball. You got to understand. Right. But now I think, and we talked about this, and you said this before too, I think we back in that realm of 80s basketball being, reincarnated. Because again, I love what I'm seeing every night.
Right. I like these refs just letting them play, man. Like, man. There's an extent to you let them play, because you don't want to see people getting their face busted open every night and stuff like that. You don't want to see fans getting punched in the face. But I mean, that's what we grew up on. Right. I mean, but it's the element of the game is you're seeing these guys having to play. They cut back on the flopping. They cut back on all these like light fouls. And I think it's the best thing they did for basketball. Honestly, I think it's the best thing they could have did, because I think that's kind of what turned me away, because every time somebody flopped, like a big name star, I'm going to give this is LeBron's specialty. He's a flop specialist.
100%.
And like that, I'm like, to me, it annoyed me for the fact that this man 270 pounds and somebody the size of Muggsy Buggs back in the day bumps into him and he fall over. Bro, come on, man. You ain't falling over. You a tower to that dude. He's running into you and bouncing off you. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, just man up, bro. And they talk about LeBron being able to play football, NFL football. I said, bro, he crying every time he get touched. I said, what you mean? One of them linebackers hitting him, he'll never get off the field.
This man ain't ready for that type of stuff, bro.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the beauty of it that's coming back, because we me and you both got in. We were seeing it kind of really kicked off with the Jimmy Butler thing, and then it goes into the next thing, and it's been a fight ever since. Everybody is like playing full tilt basketball. I mean, you got the Bulls playing good. You got the Nets playing good. The East is tight. The East is super tight in the conference right now. You got the Nets. You got the Chicago Bulls in second, the Heat in third, and they all got similar records. I mean, they're not separated by more than 3 games from the top.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got the Bulls at a half game, and everybody, and then the next 3 teams is 2 games out. Charlotte's 3 games out from the top. Who would have thought?
Crazy.
And then go to round out your top. I mean, you go all the way down to Boston at number 11. They're 4 games out, and then it kind of drops off. But you still got 11 teams in the East with all similar records. And guess what? Ain't none of them have a losing record. None of them have a losing record until number 12. Tell me that's not a wild game of basketball being played, man.
Wild game of basketball, man.
And you got Milwaukee really making a statement here, playing and winning 7 games in a row. That's the next longest streak compared to the Suns.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Like, I think this might be the best season of NBA basketball we've seen in a long time, with so many teams being able to play and fight. I mean, playoff basketball about to be wild when it gets there. If it stays as hot as it is right now, and it's entertaining as it is, we are going to see some craziness.
Again, I just hope that a lot of these teams do not start to let off the gas, man. We get to All-Star break and you start to see teams just let off the gas like, bruh, I'm tired. It's been a long season already, long first half of the season. I need them to keep the pedal to the metal and keep full throttle all the way through, man. To get the fans what they really want, man. Especially the old school fans. Give us what we want, man.
I mean, and that's what we're getting right now. That's the thing. Like I said, this thing caused me to see these guys doing what they're doing. It actually caused me to sidecast the game. Like I wouldn't have ever thought that I was going to turn on the computer and sidecast a Chicago Bulls game. That's my squad, but I didn't think I was going to turn the thing on ever sidecast a basketball game. It was always going to be football or baseball or something like that, and it drew me in, and I sidecast it, and it was a good game, and I was like, wow, I actually had fun doing that.
That's what I'm saying, man. It shows. It really does show that, you know, like I said, basketball is at a good point, a good state that, you know, football fans like ourselves, we can tune in on Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever the games drop in. We can just watch sports all week long. Love it.
And honestly, it hasn't been that way in a while. And I mean, like I said, we've been talking more basketball off the podcast and stream than I talk basketball in probably I don't know how many years. Like we've both been at it. Like we're like, yo, you see that last night? You see him, bro? He messed him up, yo. Like, and that was the first thing I said. I said, bro, do you see the Suns? And I was like, I knew you watched it, but you know, I had to be like, yo, you see that?
Yeah, bro, 100%. 100%. I was locked in, man.
But like, we getting into this. We're gonna get into some baseball too. We know the season's over, but this is where the baseball is starting to get hot. But boy, let me tell you what, I'm about to become a baseball player at 37 years old.
Me and you, bro. I'm trying to
getting into these. We're getting into these baseball mega deals these guys are signing with our guy Corey Seager going out and getting himself a payday. He's got a 10-year, $325 million contract. 10 years, $325 million to leave the LA Dodgers and head in to the Texas Rangers.
Insane.
Woo!
Insane, bro.
What do you think about this, though? Like, I mean, you got a couple guys you want to talk about, too. But Corey Seager leaving the Dodgers, like
he 28 years old, bro.
Who would have thought, though? I mean, but we know baseball goes. It's not football. Baseball goes into them ages. And he's playing some of his best baseball right now.
Bro.
The money got him speechless.
325.
That's his kids, his kids, their kids.
The only contract that sets well, let me put it like this. This contract is next to Francisco Lindor's contract, 10 years, $341. both 28 years old. Like, excuse me? Why am I, huh? Like, this is crazy. Like, playing baseball is almost like now hitting that lottery.
Oh,
you hit that
yeah.
lottery that you need to hit, bro.
Good.
And just go crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I get it. It's a long game, 162 game season. I get that 100%. It's a lot of wear and tear maybe on your body, but dude, this amount of money right here is being given out. They just set Corey Seager up for life. I don't care if I do have to go to the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, it don't matter where you play, I guess. I mean, if you're not too concerned with the championship, I mean, I guess go get your money. Is that? I guess. I mean, but does this hurt the Dodgers at all? Losing Corey?
It definitely hurts the Dodgers, man. I mean, I was on Twitter, and you know, a lot of Dodger fans seeing their tweets, man, and they were just like upset about Corey Seager being gone. Now, it's another one. I forgot who it is they have that they need to. They were talking about if they lose him, they're really in trouble, man. And I'm like, dude, like you just at this point, this guy went where his heart was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't know if it's his heart. It might have just been that money.
Yeah, his heart was with the money, so that's why he went with the money. G, like he was like, I'm out, I'm going, bro. Like this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, I don't know what they want me to do, but I have to go. So I mean, at the end of the day, like. They still have, you know, names like Justin Turner, which, you know, Trey Turner and all of those guys that have come in. You got your Max Muncies and all of those guys. I mean, again.
Is this a factor that LA couldn't afford him, you think? Do you think that might be the play? That might have been a big part of why he left?
I would say so, because I'm not sure what they brought when they brought Max Muncy and all those guys in. I'm not sure what they done, but and I know Mookie Betts is I think he's one of the highest paid on the team as well. But you got to look at it like they got to try to keep Cody Bellinger. That's who it was, Cody Bellinger. You got to think.
I mean, I believe Cody was hurt a lot this year. He didn't really play too much.
Yeah, but he's still a big bat on the team, bro. He's still a big bat on the team. That center field position, man. He plays good ball. Like Cody ain't nothing to sleep at. You know, you gotta give him his flowers. You gotta give him his flowers. I mean, like I said, they still got a lot of good people on the team, but Corey Seager again, we know what he done for the team last year,
right?
And they can still pull something together with the Dodgers, man. It's not. I don't think it's bad. The Trevor Bauer situation that was going on was the only thing that kind of was looming over him last year. But with like I said, if I'm getting paid that amount of money, they offer me that amount of money, Dodgers, I see you later. It's been real. Thank you very much for all you done. I mean, you know, if I didn't get a ring, I get it somewhere else. I can buy one. You know, that's the thing. You know, you got to look at it like that. But again, it's the cap situation too. You got to think about that. Like no cap, man. It's just the team's going wild.
Now with like as you hit on that no cap situation, do you think they are paying these guys way too much? Do you think MLB needs a cap situation to have a cap? To give, I guess the way I want to put this, let me phrase it like this: do you think they need to put a cap on to help some of these other teams be competitive?
I know you're gonna beat me down when they say this. I mean, everybody buys their players. Like, you know, I mean,
100%, 100%. But that's what I'm saying. Do you think that it would make the MLB more competitive putting the salary cap in it?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I mean, then how do you if you look at it like that, how do these guys?
Wait a minute. So what do you want to do? You trying to help your Orioles out, man?
My Orioles can't be helped.
So I can.
Look,
it doesn't help.
Bro,
so there we go.
Listen. It doesn't help because our owners and GMs don't want to. Don't say not the owner that runs the team, or the general manager that runs the team. Specifically, our owners and our GMs like that. They need to go because they don't like to spend money. They actually got money this year. Now they want to trade our best player away. You know what I mean? They always want to trade the best player away, and I'm not for that, man. Like, how you gonna trade the best player away again?
So, how does putting a cap on it?
That's what I'm saying. Like, does it help keep some of these players maybe that would be on the team able to be more affordable for teams that maybe don't have as much money. Like I'm saying, like if you look at the Pirates, certain teams like that, like the teams that haven't been at the top in a while, the Marlins, the Cubs, certain teams, you know what I mean? Would that make them able to play baseball and be able to maybe obtain some of these guys that are going for $325 million? I mean, look at I lost one of my favorite third basemen ever to this situation of not being able to afford him because, well, I mean, it's not totally salary cap issues. It was a Chris Davis contract. Let's be real, but they couldn't keep Manny Machado. You know what I mean? And I hated it because Manny young, super talented, and he was a bright spot.
But what make you think Manny would have stayed even if they had the money to give him though? Because again, if we look at the Orioles, they ain't really had nobody to put around him. They weren't making it anywhere over there with. I mean, in AL, they weren't making it.
I mean, I agree 100%, but I'm saying just technically, do you think it would give these guys a chance to be signed to these other ball clubs and give these other ball clubs a chance to sign them? Because when you're signing somebody for $325 million, not every team can do that.
It gives them a chance, but at the end of the day, will the owners or whatever spend the money? I don't know. Some of them may be thinking about upgrades to a stadium. Somebody may be thinking about something else. They may not even do it. You know, we just don't know the mindset of some owners every now and then.
I know the mindset of the Orioles. They ain't spending
we know what Cashman mindset is as a Yankee. That's to win the title.
Oh, yeah, that's easy. He said, look, whatever you need, let's spend it, baby. Let's go.
We just gotta go with putting the right manager in the right place. Right. That's all.
I mean, do you think that hurt the Yankees at any time though? Like when you're looking at it, they're out there spending, they're paying all this money for these players, and then the team got old, kind of. Like it got kind of old, but they didn't have like the backup because they've been all right, but they ain't been the Yankees that I know.
It ain't hurt us, man. We got 27 titles. How is that hurting us?
I'm talking of recent. I'm talking recent, man. They got old. They lost Jeter. They lost A-Rod. They lost all these other big players.
They lost Jeter. We lost him because it was time for him to go.
Yeah, I'm saying now. I mean, they got some players, but I don't know, man. I would love to see like the competitiveness, man. Like I just feel like it's the same teams at the top all the time. Like the Yankees are going to be there. Boston's going to be there in the East, and then you have the Orioles and the Blue Jays. But I think the Blue Jays are going to be a problem coming up. I really do. I
mean, they're not.
I already know where we're going to be sitting. I'm going to be sitting on the bottom again, enjoying my Cracker Jacks, and that's it. Like I know I can't expect much more unless they do some crazy upgrades with our bullpen and our pitching. Man.
So you don't think with Rogie coming in, that's gonna help y'all?
I mean, it may help a little bit, but that's one guy. Our bullpen is god awful. Every time we bring somebody in from the bullpen, we get shacked. Like we get.
So that means slammed. You gotta go out and buy pitchers, right?
My point. They don't want to spend no money. They never want to spend it.
Maybe you spending the money in the wrong place.
I don't know, because they haven't had a bright spot in a while, man. Our pitching, like I swear, our pitching is our biggest issue. It's got to be the biggest issue on the team. But it's just one of those things. It's like I see these big contracts, and I'm just like, man. I was like, why won't our owner go spend some money, bro? Like, do we not have any money in there? Like, are we that broke? Because if we're that broke, you probably shouldn't be the owner. We need a rich owner. We need somebody with some money that can go out and get us some players, and not get rid of all of our good talent. I mean,
looking at things, it looks like you guys are focused more on your outfield than anything. And that's probably not what you should be doing. Again, it's a question as to where you put the money in.
My point, this dude's an idiot. He's an idiot. That's all there is to it.
My only deal with you is to find another team, man. You know what I'm saying? Just
look, I'm telling you, I kid you not, and mark my words. If they get rid of Mullen, I'm going. I'm either I'm going out to Seattle or I'm going out to Cincinnati, and that's all there is to it. That's been my other three teams. That's my other two teams since I was a kid, and it's probably because Griffey played there. But that's where I would go. I'd probably go to Seattle first. You know, I'd probably go out to Seattle first. That'd probably be where I make my stop and chill for a minute.
I can see you doing that.
Because I just don't like I can't do what they're doing. Like it just is mind blowing. Like that's your biggest bright spot on the team, and you talk about trading him. If you trade him, you got to get a heck of a deal back. It's got to be something crazy. There's got to be some crazy stuff, man. Because like it just doesn't make sense to me.
Listen, man, you're gonna be all right.
I doubt it.
You're gonna be all right. Just know Rogy's coming in. He's gonna help y'all. He's second baseman. He has an okay bat. It's sometime but he okay bat.
We need pitching.
I'm just saying, bro.
Until we bring pitchers in, I don't believe in no hype of nobody else.
You're not reacting fast enough for the pitchers, man. All the pitchers get going quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. If they don't have it, like it's not gonna work. You know what I mean?
What's the chance that you think of y'all getting Freddie? Freddie's
not happening.
Market?
Not happening. They won't spend the money for him. I 100%. I mean, look, you got one of our guys, right? We're gonna face one of the guys we drafted this year. Cause our dude Kevin Goodson just went to Toronto, got a 5-year deal for $110 million.
See,
5 year for $110 million. Right? That's one of those guys they said wasn't that good.
Right.
Okay. So he left. He went down to the Braves, out to San Francisco. Now he got a 5-year deal, making 110. I'm gonna have to tell you, you made another wrong call, Orioles. But you know what's nice about that? I have his autograph on a ball by himself because I met him when he was up here when he played for Baltimore and he was with their AA team. So I got to actually meet him and get his autograph. But like, here's some of these contracts are just. You got Corey Seager, he's topping it, right? He's got the 325. Then you got Marcus Semien coming in with a 7-year, 175. And then you got Javier Baez coming in with a 140. Max Scherzer hits. He hits with the Mets and gets himself a nice little banger with a 3-year, 130. Robbie Ray getting 115 off of 5 years. I mean, that's just, I don't know. It's just crazy.
Like, and the Orioles are not in any of the talks.
No, they have not signed anybody.
Just terrible
that I've seen besides your guy. But I don't think they signed him for much.
Nah, so, you can take Rogy. We trying to get rid of him anyway.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, Texas is making some moves here. I mean, Texas brought in 1, 2, 3 players already. Mm-hmm. Their lowest guy they brought in was a 4-year, $56 million deal off of John Gray. And Garcia just got I don't know how you say his first name, but Garcia Arvisil, I don't know how you say it, but Garcia just got paid 4 years, $53 million to go to Miami.
Texas has been building up, man. Texas has been building up for a long time. They've been out there just playing ball.
I think
money just stacked, and now they just letting go. That's all.
I think they're gonna I think they're gonna be a team to watch this coming season with the moves they're making and what they've put together. I mean, I don't think they were far off from it. I mean, it's only gonna take a couple players to go take you somewhere else that you haven't been in a minute.
Right. Right.
I mean, to me, it's just wild, man. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I mean, like, baseball is baseball. It's a tough sport. I mean, they play 162 games a year. That's a long season. Mm-hmm. Long season. And to stay healthy that whole time, that's a challenge in itself.
Yeah. So you got to think about that. You got to put that in consideration when you're hiring a guy, though.
Oh, yeah, I get it. But my mind, I think my mind gets so blown away is that football, hockey, contact sports where these dudes is banging, knocking each other's teeth out, knocking each other out literally.
But they're not playing 162 games though, bro.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just wild that the amount of money that they're seeing here. Like it's one guy. That's one guy. That's not even the NFL team salary. That's not even their salary cap. You know what like
It was his time. He hit the lottery, his payday. So let the man get a man his flowers, man.
Hey, I'm not taking from him. Go get it. I don't ever knock it. Like, hey, look, like somebody said this to me today. They said, "Oh, they're playing a sport." Right there, I had to stop them. I said, "But it's not a sport." I said, "It's their job. They worked since a little kid to get where they're at." I said, "They busted their butt to become the elite of the elite." I said, "It's not like you can't go out there and do what they do. You ain't gonna go out there and smack a ball that's coming at you 102 mile an hour. You ain't gonna even know how to move."
You just made a good point too. Like they really bust their butt to get there because we do know that when you are playing baseball, you can get drafted, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be right on the roster.
Right. You got to work.
Right in the majors. You got to work your way up to get there. So, yeah, he deserved that, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's what I said. I mean, like, I don't knock him getting paid that money. It's just, to me, it's a mind-blowing dollar amount for one player. Like, that's what I think that's what gets me is just one player that gets that. And like I said, and then when I look back at a salary cap of NFL, it's not the whole team not even worth that. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things. I think that's what I look at, and I'm just like, damn, man, that dude's making more than a whole 53-man roster.
I think you're going through the Oreo blues. That's all it is, man.
I've been going through the Oreo blues for how many years now? Since Adam Jones left, and we made the playoffs that one year. I don't even remember what it was. It's been a while. I mean, I've been going through it, bro. Like we get these pictures. We had Dylan Bundy come through. We had Kevin Goosen come through. We've had some good pitchers come in, but none of them play for us anymore, and they're on these other teams making and killing it. That's the stuff I can't understand. Like, how do you keep letting these guys go? Like, you keep letting the good players go, and then they blow up on these other teams.
We just gonna call y'all the Miami Dolphins of.
Bro, we ain't even Miami Dolphins, bro. Like we can't. That's why they call us the O's. They can't even give us a full name.
Not worthy of a full name.
Nah, bro. It's just like Washington right now, bro. Like they gave us a damn name that goes off of it called the football team, bro.
Remember, I said it. The team is better than the Commanders. Okay.
No, it gives you an identity. I will fight this.
No,
it gives us an identity.
No, the Commanders. We ain't even gonna say what it puts you in the mind of. No.
Oh my goodness.
No, bro. No. So yeah, he definitely, like I said, Corey Seager. He deserved his money. I mean, he did play well. They went after him. They had a chance to go get him. They threw it at him. He left. Hey, get a man his flowers. Let him do his thing. I mean, it is what it is.
Now, one more touch on this. One more touch on it because it just kind of popped in my head. Now, do you think? Okay, so I mean, yeah, he's a fielder and he does this thing. Do you think there's one position that warrants that kind of contract more than another, like a pitcher? Because I mean, it's hard to find good pitching sometimes. Do you think a pitcher should see that type of money before another player like that?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, for me, it's kind of equal. It's kind of equal because, you got pitchers. They can, of course, we know they're throwing at top speeds, all different types of breaking pitches, all this stuff. And a lot of them have to go through the Tommy John surgeries and stuff like that. So in return, they can lose a whole season based off of that. But when you get to like a fielder and their situation, yeah, they're not in the line of fire with everything, but we got to look at how they lift the team as far as offense goes, like their batting averages, the golden gloves that they get and stuff like that. Like that all, you have to take that all in consideration because, again, with Corey Seager batting the way he did, the Dodgers probably wouldn't be in the situation of where they were, you know, facing off against the Atlanta Braves again, for the title. So, I mean, who knows? But I think they're equal across the board when it comes to pay. With the thing, it's just the fact that it's a lot of games, a lot of wear and tear on the body, a lot of rest, and all of that stuff that has to go into play. So we really have to keep that in mind and know that these contracts that they're getting is setting them up for something. It's setting them up for something because, again, they could easily lose a payday.
Right.
They could lose a pay year. And getting sent down and all that other stuff, man. Yeah. It's just stuff you got to look at.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, that's a good take on it for sure. Because I mean, I always thought that like the pitcher kind of warranted it. But then, I mean, when you make that point, getting them in there, batting averages, on base percentages, and how productive they are, I guess. I mean, I guess you could say it goes. It should go both ways. They should both be equal to be able to grab it. I mean, we don't see that in a lot of other sports either. Like football, you know, the quarterback getting paid more than anybody else, and I think that's kind of where that question came from, is because I mean your pitcher is your leader. You know, what I mean he's at the helm, and he's kind of when you're on, when you got that kind of pressure on you as being that guy and the top pitcher of a team. I that's where I think I got that question from, is looking at a football stance, is like, because the quarterback is typically, it'd be like your pitcher on a MLB roster.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like, I wondered what your take was there on that, with regards to the money.
I mean, like I said, it's just it's kind of equal with it when it comes to baseball. It's a lot of other things that I think about when it I just when you think about baseball and how long it is and all the stuff that they're up against, it's just crazy. You know, I mean, yeah, it's a big payday. It's a huge payday. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of expense on the outside of that they gotta take care of. Because
Right.
again, we know you shatter your body, man. That can cost medical bills and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Hey, that's tough.
Yeah, I mean that's it. I mean that's that's absolutely valid. I mean, props to these guys that are getting paid, and I wish I could get paid like that, but you know, I'm not
What?
that guy. I'm not that guy.
Listen, man, I think I could still throw a curveball. I think I can
Oh, I
still
could
throw
definitely
off
throw the
speed.
ball. I could definitely throw the ball. Like there is no ifs, ands, and buts. I could still throw the ball. I just ain't throwing it like I was.
Now batting, we might have to
uh,
work on it.
yeah, we definitely working on back, because I ain't seen a ball come that fast in me in a long time.
I won't be Mister 3000 out there if I go out there and bat though. That's what
Bernie
we gonna
Mac.
do. Facts. Go out there and do it, bro. But as to that,
Yeah, but guys, that's gonna be the end of us.